When and where did the first bees appear? New research has shown that bees appeared on Earth much earlier than previously thought. Scientists also suggest that they evolved differently. An international group of scientists has shed more light on the origin of bees in a new study. Scientists have found evidence that bees appeared on the planet earlier, diversified faster and spread more widely than previously thought. The description and results of the research were published in the journal, Current Biology. These groundbreaking discoveries were made by an international team of scientists led by researchers from Washington State University. During their research, they looked at over 200 species of bees living on Earth today. They then compared their characteristics with those identified by analyzing 185 bee fossils and characteristics of extinct species. This made it possible to create a study that included the evolutionary history of bees as well as genealogical models. The researchers also gained information allowing for a more detailed look at the distribution of these insects on Earth in the past. Comprehensive genome-wide data was also obtained for all 7 bee families, a breakthrough in itself. The most important, however, are the conclusions regarding the origin of these extremely useful insects. Well, their roots should be sought in the western part of the prehistoric supercontinent, Gondwana. They appeared in the early Cretaceous, having evolved over 120 million years ago from wasps, changing their diet to nectar and pollen and abandoning their predatory lifestyle. Originally, bees inhabited the southern hemisphere, but over time they moved more and more north. In the meantime, some 65 million years ago, already in the Tertiary, the most important families of bees emerged, which coincided with the extinction of the dinosaurs. The researchers are currently planning to expand the scope of research to include more bee species. Accurate knowledge of the genetic history is crucial to a better understanding of the evolution of bees and the related evolution of plants. While analyzing the evolution of bees, scientists could also look at the impact they had on the surrounding flora. The conclusion can be drawn here. And it is also believed that the lush vegetation in the Western Hemisphere was for a long time associated with the long-term residence of bees in this area. Besides, both in tropical and more temperate regions, an important source of food for bees are plants from the rose family, which includes apple trees, cherries, pears and plums. At the same time, they account for about a quarter of all flowering plants on Earth. As Dr. Elizabeth Murray underlined, The new research becomes a milestone for future analyses of the ecological importance of bees. Nowadays, much is said about the need to take care of the future of these insects, which is becoming more and more uncertain. These studies can help us with this, as they help us better understand how they have adapted to existing ecological niches in the past. The Vikings were present in America 1,000 years ago. Long before Christopher Columbus crossed the Atlantic, 8 sod-covered wooden buildings stood over a peat bog at the northern tip of Newfoundland, Canada. These buildings were erected by the Vikings, who were the first Europeans to cross the Atlantic Ocean and reach the New World. The fact that the Vikings preceded Columbus has been known since the 1960s. Now scientists have established the exact date of their presence in North America. In 1960, the inhabitants of the small fishing village of Lanceau Meadows on the northern tip of Newfoundland, Canada, pointed out to archaeologists a group of mounds near the village, which they believed was an old Indian camp. The mounds covered with grass did indeed resemble ruined, long-forgotten houses. Excavations at this site have revealed the remains of a settlement, but it belonged to the Vikings and not to the Native American people. Researchers in a 60-year-old study discovered the remains of 8 buildings in Lanceau Meadows, including a forge and carpentry shop. The objects found on the site and the similarities in the structure of the building indicated that the builders of the settlement were the Nordic people. Vikings built similar villages in Greenland or Iceland. Radiocarbon dating suggested that the settlement was established much earlier than the voyage of Christopher Columbus, possibly around the year 1000, but more precise details remained unclear. These discoveries provided evidence that Christopher Columbus, who reached the New World in 1492, was not the first European to walk on this earth. The Vikings preceded him by hundreds of years. They crossed the Atlantic nearly 500 years earlier. In later years, several other remains of potentially Viking-built settlements in America were identified. The Vikings traveled long distances in their boats. Thanks to their excellent boats and navigational skills, they established settlements in Iceland, Greenland and Lanceau Meadows. However, it has not been clear exactly when the Vikings crossed the Atlantic and established settlements in North America. In a new study published in the journal Nature, scientists from the Netherlands, Canada and Germany determined that the Vikings were now in North America as far back as 1021. Exactly 1,000 years ago. But how did the scientists come to this? They obtained evidence by studying the atmospheric abundance of the carbon isotope to the power of 4C in conjunction with accelerator mass spectrometry. It all comes down to a massive solar storm that occurred in 992 CE. A flare of high-energy radiation on the Sun caused auroras visible even from Germany. There are many reports about this event. The storm also left a clear mark on the tree rings that grow every year. It is from the tree rings in the pieces of wood used to build the settlement that scientists have found evidence that these trees were felled in 1021. The three examined pieces of wood from the remains of the settlement had a visible trace of a solar storm. Each of the three wooden fragments showed this mark 29 grains before the edge of the bark. The solar flare spurred the production of to the power of 4C carbon in Earth's atmosphere, which was taken up by plants around the world through photosynthesis. Every tree that lived in 993 AD has a distinctive ring with a higher than usual concentration of this carbon isotope. For this study under the microscope also showed clear evidence of cutting and slicing with blades made of metal, a material not produced by indigenous peoples. The marked increase in radiocarbon production that took place between 992 and 993 AD has been detected in tree ring archives around the world, says Professor Michael D. of the University of Groningen. Finding the solar storm signal 29 grains before the edge of the bark allowed us to conclude that the tree was felled in 1021 AD, adds Dr. Margot Kuytens, also from the University of Groningen, and the first author of the paper. The new findings of scientists provide us with the earliest date of European presence in North America and the earliest evidence of an Atlantic crossing known to us.